Hello all, and welcome to another lazy Friday afternoon beer review. I've been exceptionally lazy today. I think I really half-assed my chores. But anyways, we're going to be reviewing a beer. And what are we reviewing? Well, as you know, we're going to be going through some pumpkin ales. Tis the season, you know. Well, not Christmas season, but the Halloween season. Well, next month is. Anyways, this is the Imperial version of the Night Owl. So this is the Great Pumpkin, Imperial Pumpkin Ale from Elysian. Let's read the label. The Great Pumpkin is the world's first Imperial Pumpkin Ale. It's packed with pumpkin and roasted pumpkin seeds and spiced with cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, and allspice. So this is 8.4 ABV. So not significantly stronger than Night Owl, which was already pretty strong as it is. That's 6.7 ABV. But without much further ado, let's just get straight to this. Been letting this warm up a little bit so it can open up. Okay. A cloudy orange reddish brown with an off-white to beige head that is fairly thin and quickly receding. And it smells a lot like the Night Owl, only just more concentrated and intense, unsurprisingly. You have your nutmeg, your allspice, your cloves there. Not really getting any ginger this time around. Not really getting much in the way of hopping either. Very sweet, biscuity malts underneath those baking spices. Really does smell like a freshly cooked pumpkin pie. Okay, on to the palate. Very thick and chewy. And honestly, much more sweet than the Night Owl was. With the baking spices, a little bit too sweet to my taste so far. Also, very boozy in the midst to finish. Very much a top note of booziness in the long finish. Hop bitterness is there. Again, just kind of overshadowed by the malt body being so heavy and sweet as well as alcoholic. Saddest thing to me is that roasted nuttiness from the pumpkin seeds is not quite apparent in the finish in this one. That was what made the Night Owl so enjoyable to me, was that roasted pumpkin seed aspect. This is definitely drinking like an 8.4 ABV beer, by the way. Not much pumpkin gourd essence in the flavor at all. It does add further body to the beer, but being an Imperial, it wasn't really lacking that much body to begin with. If anything, the malting is on the heavy side, overly heavy side to me, anyways. What's interesting to me is how the overwhelming sweetness, and I would definitely say that this is kind of leaning towards the cloying side for me at least. Just makes the baking spices less pleasurable to me. Hop bitterness is at its peak in the mid to finish, but again, overshadowed by the really heaviness of the malting and the alcohol. I guess I'm kind of being kind of repetitive here. So, in comparison to the Night Owl, and this is somewhat closely related to Night Owl, I think the spice bill is probably heavier and a bit different. I noticed this one didn't list ginger in the label here, so I'm thinking they've also changed up how, the spice adjuncts are in regards to the rest of the recipe. But while the Night Owl was very well balanced, I really liked how the different aspects kind of came out. There was a lot of interplay and complexity there. This one is just overwhelmingly sweet, overwhelmingly boozy, and everything else is kind of buried under, all the residual sugars in the malts and the alcohol. And it makes what was interesting in the Night Owl, the spicing and the pumpkin seeds, either seem very subtle to the point of being not really apparent, or unpleasant in the case of the baking spices. And it really does go to show you that not everything is improved by the addition of more. Sometimes you just kind of hit a golden balance early on, and just pushing it a little bit further, uh, it just throws everything out of whack, in my opinion. Again, your mileage may vary. So yeah, Elysian, the Great Pumpkin, Imperial Pumpkin Ale, kind of falls into the downfall I find with many Imperial Ales, heavier beers, in that it's just too boozy, it's just too sugary, and it comes across as unbalanced to my palate. And I guess that's why, a lot of Imperial is so linked with India Pale Ales, is just because it's the only way you can really handle the balance with this sort of heaviness is by, either really hopping it or using exceedingly dark malts to kind of balance out all those sugars. And yeah, so I mean, sure, if you like kind of sugary, boozy beers, I mean, this might be right up your alley. As it is, I'd go back. Excuse me. I'd go back to the Night Owl. That one was a quite a good pumpkin beer. And doing the side by side would just kind of show you, really illuminate. Excuse me. Alcohol is tripling my. The alcohol is tripping my tongue right now. It would really illuminate the importance of just, maintaining a balance, of roughly pretty much the same ingredients, you know, would make something sublime, and then pushing it a little further makes it kind of a mess. So yeah, looking forward to trying the other two beers in the box set. Again, I really like the previous one, the Night Owl, sort of the baseline pumpkin ale. This Imperial Pumpkin Ale, just too sweet and boozy for my tastes. Well, folks, that's your beer review for this afternoon. Cheers.